Hey everyone, it's AJ from Bob and AJ's Archery World. Going to talk to you about the Hoyt Alpha X 33 and the Mathews Lift 33. Two long axle bows. Well, it's what they consider long now. Last week I did I think it was a post with my bow that came in. And some of you will probably notice once I show you this bow, hey, that's not the bow that was in the picture. And you're right. The bow I ordered in Tombstone, which was the gray riser with the Kuyu Vias limbs. And after staring at it for 2 days, I decided I liked the black riser with the Kuyu Vias limbs. So this is my setup, and this video is not going to be about my setup. But I'm running the Schaefer Rest, the Spot Hog, Tommy Hog 3-pin. And this is the first year I put a 2-piece quiver on, not a detachable. I just, hunting out west last year, and I'm going out there again. I learned that you need to have that quiver on your bow. When I'm whitetail hunting, first thing I do, I pop this off, hang it up. But I have a 8-inch bar with 6 ounces, and then I have the stubby up front with 2 ounces. And I have the Hoyt kickstand. So the overall weight of this bow comes in at 7 ounces. Or 7.8 on the scale. So it's not light once it's built. Again, I have a Spot Hog Tommy Hog on here. These things are built incredibly tough, all machine metal. I mean, you could actually, hammer nails into a piece of wood with this thing. It's that tough. So this is a heavy sight. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about, I took a Mathews lift and I set this all up. This is the 33. So I have their kickstand on. I have an 8-inch bar with 6 ounces, 10-inch bar with 2 ounces, just like on the Hoyt. I just threw a biscuit on here because it was quick and easy. I have their spider whip quiver on here. And then I did run a Fast Eddie XL through the bridge lock here. And that saves some weight. That actually cuts the whole bracket out. That cuts the whole knob out. And this actually is just extra when I was laying around. That doesn't even have the real Spot Hog scope. This is a real lightweight, small scope. So this is a lot lighter than the Tommy Hog scope that is on my bow, on my Hoyt. So what I kind of wanted to do was a comparison, building the bow like you typically would, and do a weight test. This weighs 7.8. So it's exactly the same as my Hoyt. Now, bare bow, the lift is 100% lighter, but once you build the bow, this came in to 7.8 pounds, just like my Hoyt 33 did. So I just thought that was kind of interesting because there's a lot of buzz about how much they cut out of the riser, which they did, and how light the bow is bare bow. And it is light. But once you go ahead and put equipment on here, she gets right back up there to, the same weight as everything else, basically. Now, you could run a 3-pin basic, a 3-pin CBE with a whisker biscuit and those bars. And yeah, the bow's going to be very light. You could put a different quiver over on it. That's going to cut weight, whatever. You could do that on either bow. So you don't have to be at this weight, but I just wanted to do a comparison the way that I build my bows with the stabilizers, the sight, the quivers, whatever. And it was interesting that they both came in at exactly 7.8. So the lift has 70-pound mods on it. I twisted it up and I got her up to 77. My Hoyt has 80-pound limbs on it and I'm shooting it at 77. So again, just being curious, as I know the lift actually IBO is a little bit faster than the Hoyt, so I just want to see what it did. And I got all kinds of stuff written down here, but bear with me. So with the lift, and I had a 30-inch mod, so I have a 30-inch mod on the lift. I'm shooting a 430 grain arrow at 30 inches of draw length, and it's an 85% mod. I was getting 310, 310, and 311. Okay, so that's what the lift did. Now, my Hoyt, I have set at 29 3/4. 29 3/4 just feels better to me. 30, I feel a little bit overstretched. 29 1/2, I feel a little tiny bit scrunched. So it's incredibly nice that Hoyt did do 1/4 inch bumps on the mods this year, because now I can go to 29 3/4 and like it just locks in perfect. So now this is a 1/4 inch shorter. Doesn't sound like much, but, and I'll get to this in a second. So I shot this at 29 3/4, same exact arrow, at 77 pounds, 310, 310, 311. So the same exact numbers as the lift, a 1/4 inch shorter in draw length on the Hoyt. Now that 1/4 inch again doesn't sound like much, and I'll hold this up, not that you'll probably be able to see it, but I am going to take pictures of this stuff and get it up on some posts. But just if you want to take a look at what I all got on here, so you know I'm not just making stuff up. So I shot my Hoyt at 29 3/4 for draw length. I shot 85% let off. I shot 304, 304, 304. I shot 80% let off. 304, 304, 305. 75% let off. 304, 304, 304. Virtually zero difference. And then I did it at 30 inches. I was getting 310, 310, 311. That was at 75%. At 80%, 310, 310, 310. 85%, 311, 312, 312. So that was the only bump that I seen. And I don't know why there was a bump there, but there was some sort of a bump there. So 85% at 30 inches, it did bump up a foot or two. Because I keep kind of hearing customers walking in and they're like, so once you get the 80% mods for the Mathews, it's going to be faster, right? And I always said, no, it's not. And there's a number of people saying that it is going to be faster. And I'm not an engineer. I fix bows, I sell bows, I tune bows, I work on bows. To me, when you're going to a lower let off, you're getting less rotation out of the cam. So the cam's not rotating as much. So how can that be faster? At the higher let off, it's getting the full rotation of the cam and it's going to be faster. But what I was surprised to see with these numbers was there was virtually zero change. I did expect to see the numbers kind of go down as I went from 85 to 80. I thought that would be slower. 75%, I thought that would be slower. There was zero change. So this is just some information I wanted to put out there to you guys that I find interesting. Sometimes I wake up at like 5 in the morning and I'm like, oh, I gotta go try this. Then I gotta wait for daylight for my chrono to work, because even though I got a great chrono, it only likes to work in the sunlight outside. Even with the light bars and all that stuff, maybe somebody can tell me how to fix my chrono, because it drives me crazy. But anyway, the bow I chose this year is the Hoyt. One of the reasons I chose the Hoyt, I like the 33-inch axle. I like a longer bow. I shoot far. I practice far. Where I'm hunting out west, I have long shots. I just, personally, I can shoot a bow better at long range when it's a longer bow. And I've tried shooting the shorter bows, this is just me. I'm not a pro shooter. At long range, my groups open up after 60 yards. If I was a tree stand hunter shooting 20, 30, 40 yards, yeah, I can shoot a 29.5, 30-inch bow grade all day long. But past 60, I open up. So that's why I always like trying to shoot like a 32 to 33 or even a 34-inch bow. The geometry of the Hoyt, they did change a lot. And, you know, they talk about the cutouts and how much they cut out. If I held a VTM up here, you would be able to see the difference in the cutouts. It is a tremendous difference. Mathews did the exact same thing. They cut out a lot too. But if I hold these bows axle to axle, they're the same size, right? Now, if I hold these bows, this is hard to do by myself, limb pocket to limb pocket. Let me see if I can get this in here. I don't know if I can. Limb pocket to limb pocket. So the bottom limb pockets are the same, and you can see there how the top limb pocket of the Hoyt is way, way higher. So you're talking about 4 inches, I don't know, maybe even 5. So even though I just got done saying I like a longer bow, I don't like a huge bow. So to me, the Mathews riser with the 33 is just very big. And guys, a lot of people like that, and that's awesome. I'm just talking about me and what I like. So Hoyt did make the riser longer on the Alpha X. So if you held the 34-inch VTM from last year, riser to riser against the Alpha X, the riser on this bow is about 3 inches longer. So guys, that is going to help you with stability. But again, I'm not looking for a bow with a riser that's 33 inches long. That's basically, you know, like a Target style riser. Like the riser length that is on that lift, on the 33-inch lift, it's the same length riser that was on the 38-inch TRX. And I'm not knocking the bow at all. It's a great bow. We're just talking about me and what I chose. So again, I'm running my Schaefer rest, which I absolutely love. Spot hog, Tommy hog, and I'm running the triple stack, which is brilliant. And I'm just doing 8-inch bar on the side here. I got 6 ounces of weight, and I'm doing my stubby on the front with 2 ounces. The bow balances great, handles well. And another thing, I do these videos and I realize, man, I want to talk about something else. Both of these bows are at 77 pounds, and I had a customer in here today. He watched me draw both bows and shoot both bows. He shot both bows. Now, he was shooting 55 pounds. I'm shooting 77 pounds. The Hoyt, I can shoot all day long at 77 pounds. I mean, when I draw that bow, the draw cycle on a Hoyt, you feel the weight in the beginning, and then it's just easy all the way back. The Mathews, when I draw that at 77, it's kind of easy in the beginning, but then she loads, and you get a little hill climb. And as smooth as I can draw 77, it just clunks in. So I'm getting the same exact speeds out of these two bows. They're both in lengths that I like. One's a little bit longer than what I really like, but I'm getting the same exact speeds. That's great. So with that being said, why wouldn't I shoot the bow that draws significantly easier and I can shoot all day versus shoot the bow in the same length, giving me the same speed, but it's too hard for me to draw. So that's why I chose the Hoyt. I can shoot the poundage I want to shoot. It gives me the speeds I want to get, and I can shoot the bow all day long with the draw cycle. It's just very, very smooth. Probably the smoothest I've ever felt. So that's a nice little video I want to do for you guys, give you guys some more information. Constantly, I got papers like this all over my counter to the point it's a mess. So at one point I'm going to organize all this, get it on like a nice spreadsheet, and get this out there for you guys to see everything. Because it's just little interesting little interesting tidbits that I see. And there's a lot of things that I see online that just don't sound right. So I come out here myself and put things to the test and see what it's actually doing. And like I said, the whole let off thing, Hoyt, it's really easy. I can change from 75 to 80 to 85% let off just by taking a screw out and sticking it back in the next hole. So I was able to do that test, and it was really interesting to me to see that it really didn't change. There was zero difference in speed when I did expect it to drop as I went to the lower let-offs, but it didn't. So it definitely didn't gain, but didn't drop. It maintained. So again, nice little video to put out for you guys. Hope you see you here in the shop. Thanks.